Catherine is a mother of both grown and preschool elementary children. She impresses me time and again with her hard work in our community for families and children. She is an advocate and warrior for all families. She teaches classes for the Parent Leadership Training Institute. Catherine is always looking for ways to help the community in any way, whether it's picking up trash in the park or driving supplies to a family in need. I do not know how she does it all. Please consider Catherine as an unsung hero.
We nominate Katie to be a DCYF Unsung Hero because she is a phenomenal parent, foster parent, and adoptive parent to 4 children, and she has worked tirelessly for years to build community among parents and caregivers, both in her personal and professional life. Katie's work embodies all the strengthening families' protective factors, and she helps other families build their strengths too. Katie is a former pediatric nurse and has worked in the hematology-oncology unit at Seattle Children's. Her passion for healing transcends the medical community and now drives her commitment to families experiencing the child welfare system. She is an advocate for these families and is passionate about driving systems change. Katie not only identifies problems and solutions, she works with impacted communities to put solutions into practice. She is the creator of Fostering Connections for Families, a small business that provides family coaching services to help families navigate post-adoption relationships. She is also the creator and program manager of Amara's Family Connections program, which focuses on helping parents and caregivers build relationships centered on the well-being of children. Katie participates with and activates communities to accomplish family-centered goals. As an active member of the Keeping Families Together Coalition and the Child Welfare Advocacy Coalition and others, she works to create and drive legislative policies that benefit all children and families. Since 2018, she has been a 1624 representative for DCYF and has also been a facilitator of Amara's Strong, Tough, and Resilient STAR adoptive parent support groups. Additionally, she has trained other STAR facilitators, helping more groups of adopted parents find and build supportive communities. Katie does all this and more while modeling humility and compassion and a willingness to be vulnerable. By sharing her own growth and understanding as a foster and adoptive parent, she makes it possible for others to see in themselves the capacity to put aside their fears and connect.
Mrs. Monica is 62 years old and an inspiring woman and grandmother. I met this great woman in the kinship program and Familias Fortes in family education and support services. Mrs. Monica is raising her 16-year-old granddaughter. This grandmother is a very resilient person who has gone through some very hard obstacles in this country, and she continues her path without giving up and being a very strong and loving woman. She has taught me that no matter the age and the circumstances, always one must follow the path. She is very proactive when her granddaughter or she needs something. She asks, she looks for a way to be helped or with her hard work so she can bring forward her little family that is her and her granddaughter. She always looks for the resources that she or her granddaughter may need. She is a very hardworking woman and is independent, admirable, and open-minded by continuing to learn and reinvent herself by attending parenting workshops. She provides her granddaughter with stability, love, and leads by example. That's why she is an unsung hero for me. Thank you, Mrs. Monica. It is a privilege to have women like you in our community.
Ryan is the father of 2, a kindergartner and a second-year ECAP child. Ryan has been a part of the West Plains ECAP school family since September of 2020. As a single parent, he has found support for himself and the children through family, friends, and ECAP. Since September of 2021, Ryan has found himself overcoming numerous hardships, from family terminal illnesses to custody battles and more. Amidst the struggle, Ryan's desire to keep his children loved and safe has never wavered. He provides a strong foundation for his children as he supports them through mourning and life changes. As his second child, his son, began his ECAP journey, it did not take long for Ryan to see that he may need services to help him succeed in school. Ryan and his family quickly acquired the help they needed from doctors. If his son needs him at school, Ryan doesn't hesitate for a second to talk to him on the phone or show up in person to assure his child that he is safe and loved. Before the victory of custody and through a mess of restraints right before the holidays, Ryan worked tirelessly to gain custody of his children and bring them back into a safe and supportive environment. It is apparent to staff and those around him that he has no hesitation to put his children first and give them the love and support they deserve and need.
Sam serves. That is the best description of her. She is a single parent of 6 as well as a kinship caregiver to another who she took in without hesitation. She has not had it easy, but she perseveres with a smile on her face. In fact, Sam has been through it all and come out the other side stronger and more determined. As if being a parent and caregiver to so many was not enough, she spends her days working for a local nonprofit as an advocate for other parents facing adversity. She strives to serve others and to ensure they have the support and guidance they need to get through their tough times. She knows what it's like to feel hopeless and discouraged, so she does not want that for anyone else. She is soft-spoken, witty, funny, and an overall joy. Her calm demeanor helps those who are going through a tough time to feel some peace, hope, and encouragement. Her children are as sweet as they come too, which speaks volumes to her dedication to them. I think she is an unsung hero for so many parents, her children, and the nonprofit that is lucky to have her.
Sandy is an inspiring caregiver who currently attends our Kaleidoscope Play and Learn and the Child Care Health Consultation Program at CISC. Sandy exemplifies for us what it means to be an unsung hero in our community, particularly during COVID-19. As a primary caregiver to 2 young grandsons, one in preschool and one at school, Sandy takes care of her grandchildren while her son and daughter-in-law, both essential workers, go to work. At the start of the pandemic, Sandy, an essential grocery worker herself, was doing shift work in the evenings while taking care of her grandsons during the day, as well as preparing meals for the family. Sandy is also the primary caregiver to her husband. Recently, she left her grocery job, so she makes sure to pick up and drop off her grandsons at school. Always with a smile on her face, determination, and resilience, Sandy makes sure to be at the programs and encourages and empowers other caregivers that they can get through these times together. As a senior with limited English, Sandy had to overcome significant technological, cultural, and language barriers herself to attend CISC programs virtually and parent meetings. Sandy is also a community advocate. Sandy speaks to funders and lawmakers about the importance of culturally and linguistically responsive early learning programs that have helped her and her family. This year, Sandy presented to legislators on the importance of KP&L. Her participation helped to include KP&L in the Fair Starts for Kids bill. Sandy is truly an unsung hero.
I have watched my sister be a wonderful foster parent for the last roughly 6.5 years. I've seen her love and care for every child that comes into her home, no matter how long they are there for. She treats each of them as though they are her own and works hard to make sure they get everything they need. SHAURI advocates for their best interest and works to maintain solid communication and form relationships with biological parents. Seeing her do everything that she has and getting to love all of the kids that come into our family has inspired my wife and I to begin our own journey as foster parents. I have been consistently impressed with how SHAURI handles the ups and downs of foster care and how she reaches out for help when she needs it. She spends so much time making sure every child has the resources to grow, heal, thrive, and enjoy their childhood. From everyday love and care to throwing birthday parties to holidays to not giving up on them even when incredibly rough behaviors show up, SHAURI has been an incredible mother to these kiddos. SHAURI is also a loving and caring aunt to our foster daughter. She has done so much work without expecting an ounce of recognition for it, and I firmly believe she deserves a bit of that. Thank you, SHAURI, for all you have done and for how many kiddos you have loved and still do and allowed our family to love as well. We are nominating this couple to be a 2022 DCYF Unsung Hero because of their commitment to children's first families and reunifications whenever possible. Both SKYE and Michael work together to support all the needs of the children and families they care about, including families with special needs such as learning sign language. They create space for the children in their care to both explore and feel their emotions and to heal through them. They also work well with children's parents to support their healing. They do all these things while remaining emotionally regulated themselves. The couple is always open to suggestions and advice and values the expertise of all the professionals involved in the cases they work with, including with teachers and leaders at the children's schools. They are willing to prepare children for new experiences by sharing step by step what children can expect. Skye and Michael model trauma-informed caregiving as well and are willing to maintain connection with children and families if the family is reunified, should the parents be open to the idea. They also maintain connections to children's previous foster families and help plan visits with them to reduce children's sense of loss and encourage their knowledge of their whole stories. Skye and Michael demonstrate deep knowledge of parenting and child development, which shows in how well children do in their care. They are also patient and try not to rush fostering, including with parents who are reluctant to trust foster parents.
Valerie has turned her world upside down to provide an amazing home to her step-granddaughter. Valerie had no warning to prepare for the arrival of a baby in October 2019, but when the call was received that there was a baby at the hospital, she wholly showed up. With very little connection to the birth parents and no responsibility for the baby, Valerie walked into the baby's room, held her, and has not stopped for more than 2 years. Her home has become a family home. As COVID shut everything down, Valerie has taken the time from work and been home with the baby. Already in her 50s, never having parented and having a home and life with the freedom to do as she wanted, she has taken on the role of mother with such grace and dedication to this sweet child. It is beautiful to see the bond between these two and the dedication and love Valerie presents. Valerie is definitely an unsung hero for so selflessly opening her heart and her world and creating a family so filled with love. She says yes every single day to give everything she has to make her child's life happy, secure, thriving, and enriched.
We have the privilege of working with ZANDRIA and 2 of the children, her niece and nephew, she has been raising throughout this pandemic. When both children were headed into foster care a bit over 2 years ago, ZANDRIA welcomed them into her already busy and full home with open arms. As the children have grown and the pandemic set in, ZANDRIA has continued to rise up and meet numerous new challenges with grace and humility. She has advocated for more therapeutic, developmental, and financial support when she noticed a need for herself and the kids. She has continually supported healthy relationships with the kids' mom, her sister, in the midst of challenging family dynamics and strong feelings and behaviors from the kids. Most recently, ZANDRIA welcomed additional family members into her home when they needed a stable and nurturing place to live. ZANDRIA has navigated all of this while raising her own children, one with special needs, as a single parent. Graduated from an early childhood school program, working full-time, and most recently also caring for her mother after a medical and family emergency. In the face of many challenging things, ZANDRIA has worked hard to remain emotionally present for the children in her care, her family, and herself. These children are lucky to have her, and we are lucky to have her in our community.
Zekethel Val Vargas Thomas is a woman of great compassion and purpose. For over 40 years, Mrs. Vargas Thomas has been a phenomenal parent, grandparent, foster parent, primary caregiver, and guardian to many children. Her dedication to caring for and empowering Native American children is unwavering. She has created a home for those who might have otherwise missed the joys of childhood. Going beyond the enrollment in sports, music, and the arts, Mrs. Vargas Thomas notices everyone's unique skills and encourages them to explore and express themselves. Through her personal and professional life, Mrs. Vargas Thomas never shies away from difficult conversations. She has worked for her community, the Colville Confederated Tribes, since she graduated high school. This includes many years in education and public health, addressing issues such as bullying, dropping out of school, and suicide. She listens without judgment and builds resilience by helping people cope with sorrow and reconnect to hope. As a community organizer, she coordinates seasonal celebrations, Mill Pond Days, community member honoring events, and youth leadership retreats. Mrs. Vargas Thomas is always pulling people together. She strengthens connections by visiting her children's families of origin. She practices cultural traditions through her beadwork, sweat lodges, smudging, and language study. She models sobriety, and she never stops learning. Mrs. Vargas Thomas earned a bachelor's degree and is working toward her master's degree while raising children. The unconditional love of Zekethel Val Vargas Thomas leaves a lasting impression on everyone she meets. We are proud to call her Big Mama.
I am nominating Tanea as an unsung hero because she is just that. She has shown strength, courage, and empathy in her community as a parent, a friend, and a classmate. Tanea is a soccer mom to 6 kids, but still finds the energy to show up with a servant heart and encourages all around her to get more involved. Her personal story demonstrates resilience and strength beyond the average person's imagination. She is an advocate for all moms through Moms Rising, Washington State Parent Ambassadors, and now through DCYF. I have been lucky enough to learn from and beside Tanea a few times. The latest was in a pilot essential skills class through the Zone out of the Northeast Community Center in Spokane. This class is for moms that are interested in bettering themselves and getting ready for a career change. We built websites, built confidence, and built relationships that I hope last a long time. Tanea not only showed up every day eager to learn and vulnerable enough to share, she was our class's biggest cheerleader. Sometimes that meant sitting outside one of our houses as a ride for a classmate who was having a hard time, telling her she wasn't moving until she was in the car to come to class with her. She gave us flower pens and inspiration cards, and I am sure she would have given us her shirt had we asked. I am so grateful to know Tanea and to get to watch her in action as a super mom in Northeast Spokane. Last year I was fortunate to have been nominated for this award and was taken aback by the recognition. I hope by nominating Tanea, I can pass on the gift of pride and confidence this award gave me. Tanea, you are amazing.
Alejandra ha participado con su hija Yaliani en el programa Early Head Start durante los últimos 2 años y medio. Alejandra es una madre soltera. Yaliani tiene una pluridiscapacidad que requiere del cuidado de Alejandra las 24 horas del día. Alejandra no habla inglés, pero esto no ha sido impedimento para que ella busque la ayuda para el bienestar de su hija. Alejandra ha sabido reconocer que necesita pedir ayuda y recibir ayuda, por lo que le ha permitido formar un sistema de apoyo sólido para ella y Yaliani, con terapeutas, visitas a domicilio, médicos y profesionales de salud mental. Alejandra también ha logrado pedir ayuda en organizaciones religiosas y a otros miembros de la comunidad. Alejandra no tiene transporte, por lo que organiza su tiempo para solicitar transporte público para no perder las múltiples citas médicas y de terapia que tiene su hija. Alejandra sabe dónde llamar para pedir ayuda. Alejandra tiene muchos sueños para ella y para su hija. También está muy atenta y aboga para que su hija reciba una educación inclusiva y siempre está al pendiente del desarrollo de Yaliani. Creo que Alejandra ha logrado hacer un gran trabajo al superar las dificultades de comunicación, transporte, vivienda y los obstáculos económicos para brindar bienestar a su hija, por lo que he decidido nominarla porque es un ángel para su hija. Alejandra has participated with her daughter, Yaliani, the Early Head Start program for the past 2.5 years. Alejandra is a single mother. Yaliani has multiple disabilities that require Alejandra's care 24 hours a day. Alejandra does not speak English, but this has not been an impediment for her to seek help to ensure the well-being of her daughter. Alejandra has been able to recognize that she needs to ask for help and receive help, so it has allowed her to form a strong support system for herself and Yaliani, with therapists, home visitors, doctors, and mental health professionals. Alejandra also managed to ask for help in religious organizations and other members of the community. Alejandra does not have transportation, so she organizes her time to request public transportation so as not to miss the multiple medical and therapy appointments that her daughter has. Alejandra knows where to call for help. Alejandra has many dreams for herself and for her girl. She's also very attentive advocating for her girl to receive inclusive education because she's always aware of Yaliani's development. I think Alejandra has managed to do a great job in overcoming difficult communication, transportation, housing, and financial obstacles to provide well-being to her daughter. So I have decided to nominate her because she is an angel for her daughter.
As a past winner of this award, I want to share the thrill of this recognition of the wonderful Miss Sherry, an individual who hits every protective factor listed on your Unsung Hero description. She has been raising her grandchildren for years, both of whom have experienced challenges that she is especially equipped to handle due to her patience, ability to think of their needs, and her desire to give them the attention they deserve. She gently supports her children, helping the child to put words to feelings. She understands the challenges being faced and meets their needs. As an African American woman, SHROUNDA is strong in her resolve for her children, and all children, to experience equity in school, work, play, and even in systems that serve children. She gives them the tools to ensure their future successes. She transports them to connect to community activities, which offer learning through play. She reaches beyond her own comfort level to learn better ways to solve problems and then models this for others. She courageously meets with school districts to guide their understanding of their children's needs, doing so in a productive and uplifting manner. Her conflict resolution skills surpass those of many professionals, maintaining solid personal boundaries. She freely shares her knowledge and love with others. Those around her feel valued because she imparts that strength. SHROUNDA is a hero to me.